Hi, good day guys, and welcome to my HCI assignment 2, walking through and comparison of websites. I am Rocky Aguilera, and the assignment today, or the purpose of this assignment, is to give you practical skills in the important area of expert usability analysis. These techniques can be used to evaluate either an existing design or an uncompleted prototype. So for the purpose of this assignment, I'll be evaluating two existing websites. Alright, so the ISO 9241-210 that was established in 2010 provides requirements and recommendations for human-centered design principles and activities throughout the life cycle of a computer-based interactive system. Alright, it is intended to be used by those managing design processes and is concerned with the ways in which both hardware and software components of interactive systems can enhance human-system interaction. Right, so the main objective is human-system interaction. Now we just have some further information here, right? In terms of the actual ISO, right? It's Ergonomic Subcommittee CS4. Right, ergonomics for human system interaction. Alright, and the first edition of this one here cancels and replaces the previous one that was ISO 13407 from 1999. Alright, now some of the changes include the following: clarifying the role of iteration in the whole design process. Right, so not just evaluation but actually rule. Emphasizing that human-centered methods can be used throughout the system lifecycle. Explain design activities. Clarifying and the principles of human-centered design. Right, so you can actually find it in chapter 17, the ISO standards for user-centered design and the specification of usability. Now remember, everything is more or less user-centered design, right? Because the main objectives of websites, or basically any system that you are building, is more or less to center and focus on what the user actually wants. This chapter, this is an introduction to the chapter. This chapter is about the standards for usable systems from the ISO. It explains how to conform to ISO standards for user-centered design and specification for usability. To emphasize the impact on stakeholders who might not typically be considered as users, ISO uses the term human-centered rather than user-centered. To avoid misunderstanding when referring to or describing the content of the ISO standard, this chapter uses the term human-centered design. Right, and it's also abbreviated as HCD. Right, so the fundamental principles of ergonomics and HCD, or human-centered design, is 1. Ensure the project understands what the user wants or needs to achieve and the environment in which they work or live. Alright, so we repeat that again. Ensure the project understands what the user wants or need to achieve. Now, plenty of designers, design exactly how they find their product should look, should react, should move, and a lot of times they actually leave out what the user wants. Now, we are now looking and seeing that the user is a very important aspect in the development of your product. Right? 2. Ensure the designer knows who the users are and how the system should fit into their lives or their work. Right? 3. Make the demonstration of usability the objective of the design team. Have a flexible team that can understand and address all aspects of the user's experience with the system. Right? So all of these things here, basically the flexible team would have a lot of impact into your design, because you would not really want a team that is only focused on the technology or technological parts of the actual design, because as a developer, what you would want and what you your experience with the product would be far more advanced than normal users who now begin working or using your system. So if you only have experts, a lot of the problems and situations in usability would more or less be passed over, because you won't really see problems with your design, because you know exactly what your design is expected to achieve. So some of these principles are important. Now, for web design or website design, a website is a window into how your organization is run, right? And the importance of making sure that your website is aligned to standards and proper standards is to ensure that users gain the benefits from your website. So users assume that if you cut corners on your website, you also cut corners with your products and services. So if your website if you do a hash job with your website, that is more or less the first view that the user has with you as a company. Right? So if it is you have a crappy website, the user is going to think that your products are crappy, or your services may be crappy. You won't take time with them. You won't really care about them. So they will tend to shy away from your services and your company. Right? When users feel smart and sophisticated on your website, they tend to stick around. Right? So if it is they see a simple website, something that is giving them all the information they need without a lot of digging, then they will stay along. Right? When a user feels stupid, their blood pressure goes up and their heart rate increases, and they get little hot under the collar. Right? So basically that's what it is. If it's frustrating. If your website is too frustrating for them, it's going to annoy them, and definitely it's going to harm you, basically, right? Because people are not going to be too excited to be a part of your product if it's difficult for them to actually access it. Right? And there are many popular websites that are just plain ugly, right? But highly functional. There are very popular websites that are beautiful but hard to use. In e-commerce, the stakes are practically high. Right? E-commerce websites that are not highly usable go out of business in a matter of weeks. Right? So ensure that you mix the two. Have a pretty neat, nice website. Not too much colors, not too much intrusive fonts. But not too nice and still too difficult for the user to actually access. For these reasons, usability should not be an afterthought in website design. Right? Testing and fixing a website after it has been built is inefficient and expensive. It is also unlikely to produce the best results. So the benefits of planning usability into your project from the start are increased user satisfaction, which translate directly to trust and brand loyalty. So if it is your product is simple, your product is working properly, and the user finds satisfaction with it, it's highly likely that they're going to stick with you for a very long time. Right? Increase user productivity, success, and completion. So ensure that once they get on your website or once they get on using your product, especially once it's user based, you think about them first. Then once they achieving exactly what they need to achieve on using your product, it's sure that they're not going to be moving away from you anytime soon. Right? And it reduces long-term development cost. Right? So obviously you don't have a cost to fix any design mistakes. Reduce training and support costs. Word of mouth, social media, and other free marketing. Right? So if you have a good product, the word is going to spread. Right? Positive press coverage. The more people like your product, the more people keep interacting with your product, the word is going to spread, as I said before, social media and word of mouth, and you're going to get a lot of positive press because everybody likes something that's working. And a higher rate of repeat customers, which improves your competitiveness. Let's look at websites. As I said before, this is going to be focused on two websites. We're going to be looking at two websites and more or less critiquing up. Right, so we're going to strive for consistency. One of the most important principles of an effective design, web design, is striving for consistency, meaning that once you click, you expect more or less the same type of layout and easy access to further pages. Right, so you don't want to click on one page, the home button here, and when you go to the next page you can't find the home button, or the home button is somewhere else. So you want to have it in a nice order, a neat and consistent order. Right, enable frequent users to use shortcuts. Right, so just as I said before with the home page and stuff, if you go into the website, make it easier, so that when you can click and go back to probably the main site or the home page with just one click, instead of having to backspace or go back through the actual pages themselves to get back to the home page. Offer informative feedback. Right, design dialogue to yield closure. Offer simple error handling. Permit easy reversal of actions. Support internal locus of control. Reduce short-term memory load. Okay, so you'll see all these different points being discussed when we go into the website. Alright, so one of the two websites we have today is www.amazon.com. Right, Amazon is one of the largest online shopping websites in the world. The site is widely known for its wide selection of books, although the site has expanded to selling electronics, music, furniture, and apparel. Similar to eBay, users can also purchase and sell items using the Amazon online marketplace system. Right, Amazon was founded in 1995 by Jeff Bezos and is based out of Seattle, Washington. Right, and the second website is Newegg, www.newegg.com. Now, Newegg is an online retailer of computer hardware and software. Right, so these both websites more or less deal with e-commerce or online shopping. Right, and it is based in the city of industry, which is California, United States. Right, founder Fred Chang, founded in 2001, and of 2013 they have had a revenue of 2.7 billion. So definitely you know that this company is doing pretty well. Okay, so we have a comparison between Amazon.com and Newegg.com. Right, now Amazon, when we follow the 8 principles, right, strive for consistency. Okay, so basically what we're looking at is the actual design of the web page itself. Right, if you look, they use a lot of white spaces. Right, and you're also looking at, in terms of consistency, if you move from different pages, right, you see basically the same design and the same consistency of design for the page. Right, so we have new deals, and all it comes up here basically is the same consistency of the design page. So you don't need to really go and look for the different headings in different places. They are basically in the same place in each different page that you change. What you're looking for is identical terminology, and these identical terminology basically for each page should be used on the different menus and the different layout and fonts, right, that is actually employed throughout. Right, so you see that continuously throughout the entire design is basically the same menus, the same fonts being used, so it doesn't change too much of the perception of the page. Enable users, frequent users, to use shortcuts. Right, so as you can see here, right, this page has my Amazon account here, my shopping history, and it more or less is tailored for me. It's my account. So if it is I do come back here again, I don't even have to go through the whole process of having to go through and open my page and type in, everything is here for me, right? It has all the different orders. I can actually view my orders, view histories, payment methods. All these things are updated right here, right? Initially, when you do start, you need to actually fill out an entire form and get the form authenticated before you actually start making orders on Amazon. Now you can actually check through, right? Check through for different searches, right? And it's very simple. You can see right here. You can actually go and search here, right? If you go on today's deals also, right? Today's deals, you will see that there is also another different tags that you can actually search by department, search by deal type, right? The prices, right? And it's very nice, as I say, using the white, more or less white spaces. You actually see every single thing that you need to get. It's labeled in lists. Now this is a shopping website, so obviously you would want prices, you would want items seen, right? And they make it very neat and nice using that consistency. Offering feedback, right? One good thing with, if you check with any of these items that you pick here, so you do get feedback from the company in terms of, as you can see here, customers who bought this item also bought. So it helps to expand even further their thought process and making you think of other items that you would want to buy, right? They also have additional information in terms of the technical specs, right? We have additional information in terms of warranty, right? You can even go down to customers, see what other customers questions that they had and what answers they got from it, different reviews, right? So all of these things are interactive feedback that you do get with this page. Now, offering simple error handling, what you also look for, offering simple error handling. So you could actually, if you type in something, right, it automatically pops up stuff that they have, right? If it is you type in something that may or may not there, it indicates that your match is not shown, right? Match doesn't have any match for this product, right? And try something like using more general terms, checking your spelling, okay? And it is indicated search feedback. So did you find this what you were looking for? And you could continue again. So it's still, it brings in a lot of informative feedback, right? And also error handling, because if you type something wrong, it indicates to you what you may or may not do. It indicates that this is definitely not something that we have, that doesn't match any of the products. Would you like to probably type in a more general term or check your spelling, right? So simple error handling is being used here, right? And permitting for easy reversal of actions, right? If you go deep into the website, it's very simple. As I said before, all you need to do is basically go back to your account here, right? Or maybe go back to deals, right? So it doesn't have a lot of clawing your way back out of the program. It's simply by just one click and you could go back to your home page, right? Or go back to a page that you may have wanted to go to originally, or where you have came from originally. Okay, so just by one click and you could go back to different pages, right? So that's where it permits easy reversal of actions, right? And it reduces short-term memory load, right? As you can see, the design of this this web page or website does reduce a lot of short-term memory load, where as you can store your account, you can and if it is you were on a page, right, it helps to get back to the original page easily. Also, what it helps to do also is all the different things, using your previous searches or previous um, items bought. You can simply, it would automatically um, recommend items for you. You can use your browsing history, so you could go back and actually see the different items that you have been browsing before, right? So this website helps to reduce short-term memory load, so that you don't really have to think a lot on this website. All you need to do is look and more or less click on different items that you would want to do. Okay, so let's do it, as this is a comparison, so we will compare Newegg. Right, and Newegg is a pretty good website in terms of the products that it offers, and also the actual layout of the website. Right, indicating here it's very simple for searching. Now, I've been looking here in terms of all products. You can search for all products. You can search for different deals, featured sellers, right, and you could also type in exactly what you want to search for. Right, so this more or less, and looking at other pages of the website, it more or less keeps that. Okay, so you can double one click here and you can see all the different featured sellers that you may want to check for different items under, right, different deals, right, so you have different deals that they offer that you can click simply from here. Now, one of the things with this website is that with Newegg, as you can see, the pages aren't really moving. Basically, the same page you see in here, and then you move on to the same page. As you can see before, as I said before, the same page, same heading, products, deals, services, the same heading, and then it goes on now to change to a different page to get whatever was selected from these top menus. Alright, so you click on the top menus here, and then they go into different pages for you. Right, now to get back out of this one, like for example this page here, to get back out of this page, what I'm seeing is a difficulty in is enabling shortcuts. There really aren't much shortcuts here to get back to the home page, right? And that's one of the flaws that I saw with Newegg, is the inability for shortcuts. Now, to get back to that first page, what you have to do is now go up and click back, right, to get back to the home page. Right, so that is one of the features that for me have failed with Newegg in terms of enabling shortcuts for frequent users. Right, often in feedback, yes, there is a possibility for you to give feedback to the company here. Right, if you do select an item, you can go back to the previous page from here. If you do select this item, view details, right, it would give you some overall specs and overall specifications, overviews on the items themselves, a full page of, right, so it gives you a full layout of exactly what this item is, and all the different specifications for this item, and all the different everything that is basically what this item is about. Right, and as you go further down here, you get some comparison in terms of similar items that customers also browse. Right, but what I'm not seeing here is availability of comments from other users and how this item actually is working. So in terms of feedback, in comparison to Amazon, I believe that is lacking. That feedback aspect is lacking on this with this site. Alright, permit easy reversal. So there is a possibility for reversal. As I said before, in some of the pages you can actually go back to the previous page that you've been on. So there is some availability for reversal of actions and reducing short-term memory load. Right, as I said before, it's simply by clicking, starting to type, and stuff would pop up. Right, so if you go in to look for a joystick, just by typing J you will get joystick. If you're going to look for maybe a mouse, right, you get monitor, mouse, motherboard. So it does reduce a lot in terms of, you know, short-term memory load, that it doesn't take a lot of out of you to actually search in this website. So for comparing between websites, as I said before, we have those 8 principles of effective web design, and strive for consistency. With Amazon, I found it a lot more consistent in terms of the different pages as you started going into the website itself, the web page. Different web pages more or less had the same consistency. With Newegg, it was slightly different and a little lacking. Alright, and enable frequent users to use shortcuts. For me, Amazon was a lot more friendly, or a lot more effective. They used this a lot more effective in Amazon than in Newegg. Offer informative feedback. And again, Amazon for me got the tick because, you know, it was very informative, or it was very helpful and effective for me searching this website, and, you know, being offered other persons or other customers' reviews that would help me to make my decisions. Okay, design dialogue to yield closure. Still give the tick to Amazon with that one. Offer simple error handling. Both of them more or less had more or less a similar approach, right, where you could actually go into, for example, the different searches and simply get your input. So I would give both of them more or less the tick on this. Right, permit easy reversal of actions, and for me Amazon was better on that. Support internal locus of control. Both of them had more or less the same aspect of control. Once it is you started looking or using the web pages or different websites, both of them had the possibility for you to have a level focus of control throughout the entire process, and reducing short-term memory load. Ultimately, both of them attempted the same, to create this short-term memory load, so that in many of these searches you would have more or less a history given for what you have been searching before. Right, so it reduces for frequent users for different websites. It reduces that load of you actually remembering different keystrokes, or having to go through to find different items on different days, or the same items on different days. Okay, so both websites actually did have, or I did find this functional on both websites. Okay, so in this video we have Amazon and Newegg, and in terms of effective web design, Amazon have trumped over Newegg.